Hello everyone, it's Talby Fox here, and as we do not know, there is a very special thing. Nations. Now I have my own party, obviously, and you can see on the screen my propaganda. And before we get on to the main event, this to support my party, all you need to do is obviously be one of Dot's Discord, link description, and here's the pictures how first you go here. And it will say here all that the junk, but then it'll say click roles to choose, and when you click on that, it'll bring you to the roles channel, and that roles channel will be either you can skip this by the way if you want to, either blue or red. Pick blue, and then we go over to here, go over to parties, and go find this one and go support it, because the more you support, the more seats I get in the country nation. So let's beat these Reds. Alright, as you can see, we are up against Gurf. And this map used to be awful back in the day. I updated it specially. Gurf does get the early movements, I suppose. I didn't really know what to do with my tanks up the middle, top. But I do an early assault. As you can see, I have a lot of cities up close. And I do have the reinforcement advantage down below. I am going early attacks right now, and he's already losing troops, and he's already forced to cycle. Now I do push my luck, seeing if there's a city I could take or something. I think if I noticed that tank earlier, I probably would have encircled it up top. But I'm continuing my push down north. As you can see, now obviously I went up against Gurf. I mostly want to get propaganda out of it, but I got what I was looking for. And that was the proof that their greatest general can be defeated. Glare push away. Seeing if his cities are off guarded. No, they're not, unfortunately, but that's fine. In fact, I actually think I make him push a couple units away with this assault, and that's pretty good. He does catch back up in casualty numbers a bit, and I do pincer one of his infantry units what I've spread out far. That unit will be saying bye-bye. Now obviously there's not much I could do here. I think I was forced to push away just because of the city radius and the chance of being encircled, especially since how many reinforcements he started bringing up. I lose a unit, and I think one of my tanks do push out a bit. Not good, but it's fine. All I know is he has more forces up there than me, what gives me the advantage down south. Now the problem is I have like a tank or two sitting there doing not much. I may not have won this, so it wasn't a full victory, but it was a victory in the hearts and minds of the Blue Nation. Not all battles require dominance on the battlefield to be the winner. I am forced to move from top. My tanks are reserving from top to the bottom now. I'm losing units down. Not good, but there's not much I could do about that. Anyway, my pressure tanks are now here. And I am pushing him back, getting ever so closer to his city, and I encircle a tank. Right here, I encircle it. I don't encircle it, but I get trapped, and you know, there's not much you can do about that. Oh, and I cut him off from any reinforcements to that city. His city is now isolated. Now the only mistake I did here, I mean there was a couple of mistakes. Up north was giving him the casualty advantage. was not pay attention to the middle area. Because I started losing quite a lot of units there, because I'm too busy trying to take the city. And, yeah, it's not exactly ideal for me. There's not much you can do about it either, so, no well. Now, I am an idiot, and I do push my tank, and it's trapped now because of it. It's fine, because I'm besieging the city, and he's going to lose quite a lot of units for it. Now, the problem is, and he does have most of his units up north, so I technically have the numbers advantage down south. Ideally, at least. Now, there was an encirclement I could have done. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to push it in time because he encircled my units, what kind of just makes that a no-go for encirclement. I take a city. And that's all I found what I was looking for. A glimpse of hope. Because there's a general in the Blue Army who can beat Gurth. There's a high possibility of beating Gurth. Now I got the economic advantage, I can start building a lot more units than him. May take a bit of time, but it should work out in my favor, at least. Now, here comes the biggest mistake I did. I pull off my reserves, taking that city, and I do move a unit over, but I didn't put it exactly on top of it. Now, this is the problem. He cuts my unit off, and then he tries to capture it with the other one. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to stop it, so I lose a city and I get encircled. This gives him the advantage now in the economy side. If he didn't get this economy side, I would have eventually outproduced him. Fortunately, I was not able to outproduce him, but I am on the edges of taking another city from him. He attempts of encircling me. Now, he does encircle me, only for a short period of time, and I counter-encircle. My flanks are weak, and since he has more troops, he'll be capable of focusing me down. Needless to say, most of his troops are somewhere else. And my entire armored group is at risk of being encircled. So I will have no choice but to retreat. What I do. Now, I probably should have done a desperate attempt of taking the city by not retreating at all. But either way, I still had a chance, and I took it. I may not have won this game, or battle, but I did prove something. I'm hoping this proof lights a fire in the Blue Army. Nation, in fact. Go vote for my party. For a militaristic and strategic leader in helping us win this war against Reds. Because the Reds have some Chad generals. They have Gurth, Neo, I think even Sleepy. I'm not sure about Sleepy, but there's a chance Sleepy's joined their side or he's just playing neutral. But either way, those are three of the best players by far. And on our side, we have obviously we have two champions. They're not the best, I'll say. Obviously, Red has the better end of the stick with generals, at least as we've seen in our last video. and clearly better than certain champions. But my plan and my strategic ideas are to train up all our players to be somewhat level of Girth skills. And to stall out Girth as much as possible in every battle he plays as, so he can limiting his pushings and game time. At least. Very defensive ideas. But also that will give us the better average of better generals than the Red Army. What we definitely need, we need a better average. If they have the best, then we need a better average than them. I am more than willing, though. If you see my propaganda, I think I'm more than willing to lead the Blue Nation to victory. Now the problem is how the gameplay will be. Now I've asked Pythons, like, how's the gameplay gonna work? Like, will it be 1v1s? Will it be you have limited amount of troops, you know, stuff like that? You know, because, you know, army would be spread and all that. It'll be pretty weird if a bunch of players start joining another team, even though they've almost lost, and then just start winning because for some reason they get the same amount of troops. No? Like, now we have some production on that or something? I would very much like that. Now, Red takes another city from me because my units were all just off the city, and this is really what got me. This is really what lost me the game. Now, there was a high chance I could have beat Girth in this game if I actually had my cities manned. Because the only cities he took from me were cities what were completely open, in fact. I mean, there was units next to them, but they weren't on them, so he got, like, just walked up to it and took it. Unfortunately for me. And now as you can see by the casualties, Girth hasn't got a 2-to-1 ratio. In fact, he's only scored 90,000 more kills than me. And that is saying something, because when you start losing, generally you will start losing more units than them just because of the number counts. And, you know, if you have a giant troop lead, then obviously you've got to start killing more than your opponent. It's just a general fact. Then I do defend surrender, and Girth only had killed 81,000 more troops than me. What? Isn't even has practically a 1.5 kill ratio. It's pretty damn good, actually. Less than a 1.5 kill ratio. Like more like a 1.3 to 2, 1.2 or 1.3. I hope you guys enjoy this. Go vote for the National Box Front, whatever it's called. On screen, you've seen it. Go vote for it. I'll go through the steps again just in case you skipped it. Discord server. Links in the description if you don't have it. Go to here where it will say pick a side and then it says click on roles to click your role. Once you click that, you should be shown blue or red. You can only click one of them. Click blue and then you should be able to scroll down and find this area. When you find this area, click this thing. It should have arrows or something. And find or search up National, you know, front box front. And you can read it if you want, you know, pretty good. Just upvote that. Give me more seats to the election. Because the election should be going on in like after a week or two. So do that. Just do that. Tell me supporters and go do that. You know, for the sake of blue. And funny fact, I actually used to be red. So That'll be pretty interesting. An ex-Red general serving leading the Blue Nation to victory against the Reds. That'll be very interesting. I hope you guys enjoy. Vote for me.